Welcome to the Email Marketing Wix course, guys. So I'm going to take you through everything that you need to know from autoresponders, email sequences, and actually setting up Wix shoutouts all through the Wix platform here in a second. The whole course is going to outline all this for you. I'm genuinely excited about this. Now, I recommend Wix to all of my students, not just the advanced ones, but especially the beginners. Now, it's great for beginners and advanced alike because everything is built into the same platform, which we're going to talk about here in a second. But full disclosure, I don't actually just recommend Wix. I'm not somebody that's just saying, hey, go ahead and grab Wix. I don't actually use it, but I recommend it. No, I use Wix. I run my entire website from my consulting, my e-commerce sales, all my courses, literally everything, all my sales funnels, all my email, capture landing pages, all my autorespond sequences, literally everything. Everything is hosted through Wix. I use it in my business every single day, so I genuinely believe in it, and I highly recommend it. Now, I'm going to show you everything here. Now, first and foremost, before we jump into that, you're going to go to the your main Wix website you'll see here, and you're going to select and edit your site. That's going to take you to a home page where you're actually going to click on marketing tools. This entire course will be taken through marketing tools here in this actual platform right here, because that's where the majority of the email marketing will happen, like you see right here. And that's pretty simple. So I'm going to run you through everything, but now I do want to talk about the pricing. And a lot of people will say, oh, I don't want to pay for Wix. Oh, I don't want to pay for the email marketing. And you don't have to. That's totally understandable if you're a beginner. You don't have to. Now, if you do have a website, you're going to have to run some website costs. I believe the cheapest Wix package is like $6 to $8, but it's highly, highly worth it. So I recommend Wix across the board for literally everything, from email marketing, from hosting your own, your own products, to running, consulting, to scheduling, to running, analytics, to hosting videos, literally everything across the board. And the reason for that is because everything is hosted on the same website. So, you don't have to pay $70 for, a webinar type of software. You don't have to pay another 40 pages for a landing page software. And then the costs just go up and up and up. $50 a month for, a platform to host all your videos on if you're not using, YouTube. You don't have to pay another $99, which I used to pay on Teachable, to host all your courses. You can do all of that through Wix with one easy payment that's really, really cheap. So I run everything for my business that makes me thousands a month online through Wix, and I'm going to run you through all the costs here in a second. I'm looking at my back computer, the big one behind me. All of them are up on the screen. So like I said, you can get into a website and all this for free. We're going to talk here about the Wix, how much it actually costs to do Wix email marketing here in a second, and it's free. Keep that in mind. Don't worry about it. But you are going to need a premium website if you do, actually feel like using Wix. But like I said, it's super, super cheap. Imagine running, $6 to $8 a month versus like $200 a month when you're doing it on multiple platforms. Well worth it. So I pay $19.99 a month for Wix just to run my website, so we'll round that up to $20. That's really, really cheap when you consider that I could be paying $200 a month for a bunch of platforms. Now, like I said, you can pay $6 to $8, and on top of that, I pay, I don't know why I multiplied that, so $20 a month plus $5 a month for, what is that, that's the pro email package. Then I actually have an email marketing basic package to send in shoutouts, and that actually is $14 a month. So add 14 to that, and then that's that to send more shoutouts on top of the free. And then on top of that, I run analytics and I upgraded an app, so that's another $6 a month, all totaling $45 a month. So when people out there are going to say you shouldn't use Wix, that's so beginner, you shouldn't use Wix, that's so basic, you need ClickFunnels, you need this email marketing software, you need to host all your courses on here and all your videos on here and all your landing page software to get all the conversions. That's based in truth. All those work better, but why fight an uphill battle and give yourself a high overhead, especially with email marketing, when you don't have to and you can just host it with Wix? So you can literally run your website for maybe $6 to $8 a month with Wix email marketing, and I'm going to show you how everything here in this course. Now, you can use Wix email marketing for free, and you do get 5,000 individual emails. So if you don't have a big email list, missed the highlight there. If you don't have a big email list, then that's going to be perfect for you. And as you build your email list up, you'll be making more money potentially, and you'll have more to invest back into that email software or more email shoutouts as you scale. But 5,000 should be enough if you're just starting. When I first started, I think it was like 2 years ago, I literally had like a couple hundred emails on my email list. So I wasn't sending more than 500 emails out a month anyway. And I am going to show you, like I said, the auto response sequence first, how to actually set up a landing page with auto response sequence. It's super, super simple. We'll jump into that. Then on top of that, we're going to go through some of the email marketing and how to actually send the shout outs. I do have an entire copywriting course, but that is a little bit beyond the scope of this video. I'm not going to run through, all the copywriting psychology secrets. If you want to learn that out, I do have a copywriting course, like I said. And then obviously we'll run into, some of the sequences and building the sequences so that when you set up your autoresponder, if you're not just doing it for a landing page, I'll go to one of my landing pages here in a second to show you. This is a simple landing page I use to collect emails, which you can easily build on Wix, 100% free, and then collect the emails. And when people submit their email here, they get an auto response email that basically gives them the free dropshipping course. So you can do that very, very simple. But on top of that, I'm actually going to take it a step further and show you how to set up an email auto response sequence to time your emails, so that they get that immediate email with whatever you're offering. Some people might be offering a course. Some people might be offering a PDF file. Some people might be offering, free training or a free video or whatever it is, whatever what have you. There's a million things that you can offer as an incentive to collect an email on a landing page. But then you might want to follow up with that person, but you don't always want to spend the time to follow up and send an email and, keep track of the people and send them yourself. So you set up an auto response sequence so that they get hit with this email the first, that immediately. Then a day later, they might get hit with another. And a day later, they might get hit with another. Then 5 days later, they might get hit with another. And so on and so forth. So Wix email marketing is phenomenal. The capabilities are literally immense, and it's crazy how much you can do with it. And I highly recommend it, not just for beginners, but also for advanced people as well. So let's jump in. All right, so here we are actually on my website, and before we actually move forward, I noticed when I stopped recording the video that there's like light shining down, almost like I'm like heavenly. I'm not gonna fix that just because I think it looks cool. So we're just gonna roll with it. But I actually kind of like that. I do see it, but we're just gonna roll with it. So, here we are on my actual website in the website builder. Now, I have an entire how to create a website course. I plan on creating a more in-depth Wix course where it's not just email marketing. There will be, an email marketing overview in that course, but actually literally everything that goes into my actual website from, hosting, not just the email marketing, but how to sell products, how to actually, build the entire website, all the things that come with it, how to actually host a premium course on it like this, where, your entire course is hosted there, all sorts of stuff like that. I plan on launching that in the future, and it will be hosted here as well. So feel free to check that out. But this actually is just going to be the email marketing. So if you are interested in how to actually create some of this stuff, let's go back to that homepage. And you are interested in, creating a good landing page, I do have a landing page building course, and I will be creating that Wix course in the future that's a little bit more in depth, but we're just going to focus on the email marketing aspect of this because it was requested by a couple of different students, and I think it's really valuable because you don't really need to build a great landing page just to use the email marketing capabilities. You can have a basic one like I'll show you right here. So we're going to talk about how to actually set up the auto responder on a actual form on Wix. So let me take you to my landing page here, which is my free dropshipping course landing page, like I just showed you. So here's the actual landing page, and here's me building the landing page. So I talk about the psychology of, capturing an email in a lot of different ways, but it's a little bit beyond the scope of this video because I could create an entire course, and I have an entire course on how to actually get people to submit their emails and convert them at a higher rate once they hit your landing page. But all you basically need to know is how to set up the autoresponder for this course. So this is the form that you're going to create. So if I were going to create a form, what I would basically do is let's create another new page. We'll add a page, and we'll call it test page. And for you, we're going to pretend that, let's X out of this, we're going to pretend that you're going to create a form. So you're going to add here on the left, button, shape, text, box, strip, video, music, contact, there it is, contact form. And I actually personally like this first contact form. You can sort through them and look at them as you like. In my experience, this first contact form converts very, very highly. You can personalize it. Let's, obviously make it a little bit bigger. So we'll just pretend that for whoever's watching, you might be, maybe you're offering free tips. So we'll just add another text that says, free tips, and obviously you have to change the thing, so the color, so you can see it. Let me center this. And the great thing about Wix and literally any website builder where you're going to host, any email marketing or anything like that is it's drag and drop. So as you add, you can simply just click it and drag it around and right click and see what you can do. See the tasks that you can perform. It's very, very easy to use. If I double click it, I can literally maximize the font size, increase it, bold it, underline, center it, add a link to that text, add a link to this. So we're just going to pretend I'm put free tips here because obviously you're going to create your own landing page. So just to, to give you the exact idea of how to do it, you're going to, put some text, what they're going to get, and then you're going to create the actual form right here so that you can capture their email and set up your autoresponder. So that's what we're going to I want to show you. So I'm going to go to settings here and we're going to manage the form. So this is actually the email that I set up originally when I set up my Wix account. This is my personal email, but I don't ever use this. So if people were going to go Brian at bgmediainnovation.com is my business email. So I want to get notified. I want to get notified when people, subscribe to my email list. So I want to get notified at my business email. So I'm going to put that there. Now you can obviously elect not to get notified, and the same things will happen. Those people will still get the auto response sequence, but you can get notified or not notified at your own leisure. If you have a bunch of people hitting a landing page, you're not going to want to get notified 100 times a day. So you might want to shut that off. But that's how you basically do it. So the first thing that you're going to see here is the email address. And I always keep that. You have to keep that. But some people also want to add name or phone number. And you'll see here that it adds that at the bottom. So it'll add a name if you click name, and it'll subtract it if you do it. If you hit the phone, it'll add the phone. I always recommend not adding a name and not adding a phone when you want. This is a little bit beyond the scope of this course, like I said, but when you want to get people to convert at a higher clip when you're getting them to click into your auto response sequence. You want as few barriers to entry as possible. So if you can just get them to submit the email, great. That's all you need. So that's what I recommend. Now the title right here is always click. Now you're going to switch this, and you'll see right here it just says join our mailing list. So if you want to switch that, maybe we'll pretend that you're offering a free dropshipping course like I am. So I'll put free dropshipping course so they know what they're getting. And then I'm going to minimize the subtitle so that it's not actually there as well. And then that way they know that they're getting a free dropshipping course by putting their email in here. And then I'm going to scroll down a little bit further, and you'll see that subscribe now is normally the button. I always recommend changing that. You're not going to tell people what you want. You want to tell them what they want, what they're going to get. So maybe you're going to say receive, or maybe you're going to say, get free course now, or something like that. Tell them what they're going to get, not what you are going to get out of it, and that will also convert them at a higher rate. So simple, but most people overlook that. Then you're going to click this bottom one, thank you message, and you're going to want to change the thanks for subscribing, which is the normal, just in there, what's the word I'm looking for, just what's already in there if you don't change it. So I recommend changing this to thanks for, or your email, your free dropshipping course should be in your inbox shortly. Something simple like that. Keep an eye out. Something simple like that. Tell them again what they're going to get so that they're more interested. And we're going to talk about how to actually set up a landing page, or how to actually set up an auto response email with a video. And that's actually going to a little bit beyond the scope of this specific lecture, but I'll get into it in the future. How you can get them to be more susceptible to opening your emails and paying attention to them in the future by adding a video to that first auto response email. But I'm going to show you that in the future. So Right now we're just building the form. So then you're going to hit back, obviously, and then we're going to come down to the layout and the design. Now, I always like them centered. That's just my, we have to go back to, let's go back to main really fast. Manage the form. And I didn't, for whatever reason, minimize that subtitle. I don't like that. Never miss an update. Let's get rid of that. So then basically what we're going to do is we're going to go to layout. So I'm going to put the header alignment in the center. I like that a little bit better. And the body alignment's fine that way. If you switch it, you'll notice that email address just goes to the right. You can make your own call with that. And then we're going to go to design. And I like this personally, but you can play around with these designs, how you think they'll look. So whatever one you like better. I like to just keep it strip. I feel like that converts at a higher rate. Sometimes classic does as well, but I personally just like strip. Just a personal opinion, but that's how I like it. Then you're going to minimize, or you're going to switch it around so that you can change the coloring. Now, I'm not going to bore you with switching around coloring because it's literally just like any drag and drop website. Very, very easy to implement. So if you wanted to switch that color right there, you'd switch the paragraph 1 free dropshipping course to that color. And if I wanted to switch the next color, I might go red here, or I might go yellow there. It all depends on what you want. You'll see that change the email address to yellow. It all depends on what you want, what you feel like matches your brand, what you're trying to push. So obviously, that happens at your discretion, but it's literally that simple. All right, so now that we set up the form on our landing page, we need to set up the auto response sequence, and I'm going to show you how to do that. So here we are in marketing tools from your actual main menu. So you're not going to actually go into how to edit, from your, excuse me, from your, how to actually edit your website. What you want to do is go back to the main menu of your website. So go to Wix.com, and then you're going to click on your actual website and edit it, and then you're going to click marketing tools. So here it's going to take you to you'll see email marketing, you'll see triggered emails, and so on and so forth. You'll see some of my coupons here on the screen. Actually, let's go to triggered emails. I apologize for that. And what you're going to do is, for you specifically, what you want to do is, these are all my triggered emails, and this is how many times they've been sent, how many times somebody's actually clicked them, and how many times people actually have opened and viewed them. So you can see all those. You don't need to upgrade or anything like that to see those stats. Wix will provide them for you. And if I open up my automations here, you'll see all the automations that I'm running on my website right now. We're going to run through all of those. I'm going to show you all of them fully in full detail. So you'll see here that if I open up this one, some of them are prompted on their triggers when someone subscribes to a mailing list, which is exactly what we just set up, the mailing list, which was the form. So when you hit that subscribe button, someone's going to subscribe to your mailing list. So that's what we're basically after this time. If we go back, didn't mean to go all the way back there. Oh, there we go. This the red ones are the purchases. So this is triggered as soon as somebody purchases, or it might be a day after somebody purchases. Let's see. This is triggered one day after somebody purchases, and it basically gives them a free code, I think, to get their next course 50% off as a thank you. So that's when somebody purchases. You can set all these up in auto response emails. I'm going to show you how to do that here in a second. And then finally, there are other ways to do it. So you can set up, when somebody visits, they get hit with an email. If you have their email already, when you get a new site member, all sorts of different things. But mainly what I'm going to focus on and what I'm going to teach you to focus on is two things. After a sale, because the best time to sell a person is actually after you've sold them, believe it or not. I have an entire sales video and sales courses on that, and I've studied selling and like online sales and stuff like that. But I'm going to teach you how to set up the auto response sequence for after a sale. So when somebody buys your website, if that's something that you're interested in. And then obviously after somebody subscribes, which is what 99.9% of you are probably interested in. When somebody actually submits their email on a landing page, the auto response sequence for the subscribers that I'm going to show you here today. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to hit from this automations tab, new automation. And then you'll see here that it gives you a bunch of different, avenues and things that you can do to set it up. And that's what we're going to run through because that's how you're going to do it. So you'll see here that when someone submits a contact form, and this is something that might be a little bit confusing for you guys. So you're not going to do the contact form. The only time you're going to do the contact form is if you actually have a contact form set up at the bottom of your website, like contact me. What you're interested in, if you set up that box right here to collect emails, you're interested in subscribes to a mailing list, not the contact form. They're a little bit similar. Don't get confused. And then also, you can simply select makes a purchase. So if somebody just made a purchase, you can set up the timing that they get the next email in your auto response sequence after they made a purchase. If you have a member site, you can obviously set up the automation for people that log into your site, for people that sign up to your site, for people that get approved as a site member, and so on and so forth. All right, so what we want, basically what the majority of you are going to want are, like I said, you can do the makes a purchase. If you want to set up, just use what I'm about to show you for subscribing to a mailing list and the auto response sequence for that for makes a purchase. You can go back in and obviously create new ones for makes a purchase if you should so choose. We're going to do subscribes to a mailing list, and then we're going to scroll down to the action that we want to perform when somebody subscribes to a mailing list. So we're going to send an email. You don't need to do the notify, because you can do that straight from the actual form. And you can also send a chat message if you want. If you have the chat thing set up on your website, you can also download the Wix app, and then you can chat back and forth with them if that's something that you want to do. I don't recommend doing that, because the whole purpose of doing the auto response sequence, in my opinion, is to automate the process. So you don't want to actually start a chat with them. So 99.9% of you, and me too, are going to click send an email to the visitor. And then you can obviously craft your email here, so you can edit your template. You can preview and test it. So if we click edit the template here, it's going to take us into edit the template. And you can obviously, you're going to have to mold your own emails and do your own emails for you, because I can't write your email. I don't know. Everybody is going to have a different niche, a different market, a different product that they might be pushing, a different, subject that they want to talk about per email. So you have to, obviously use your best judgment and create your email auto response sequence. But typically speaking, and I'm going to show you my email auto response sequence at the end of this course so you'll be able to see it, you want to give a little bit of value first. So give some value. Next email gives some value, and then hit them with, maybe a potential sale for a product or an affiliate product, or, a course that you might have or something like that. So you're going to have to, it's pretty much drag and drop. So you can literally just click in and, type whatever you want, and then X out of the other things. Just like I said before, it's drag and drop. So you can add a link if you want to, for whatever reason. If you wanted the picture to be linked, didn't mean to do that. If you want the picture to be linked, just hover over the picture and edit the picture or add a link. Now, if you do want to switch the picture, you can double click it and upload an image and hit add to page, and that will simply change your picture. So if I wanted this mailbox money picture, I would just simply add that there. Boom, done. If you want to delete the picture, same as usual, just like any drag and drop website, you're going to remove it. And here it comes with a button. You can edit the button, edit the text, edit the link on the button, and obviously write in your own message. It's pretty simple, pretty self-explanatory. And if you want to add anything, just hit the add button here. Now, we're going to pretend that we're going to send a free dropshipping course here, because that's what this is what we're just going to play with this theme throughout this entire course to stick with the same niche. And then we'll pretend that this is some text about that, and maybe this is the dropshipping course button to take them to the actual dropshipping course. Now, I always say add a video on your first auto response email to basically say, hey, welcome. I'm glad that you if you're obviously giving a dropshipping course, you want to say, hey, I'm glad that you signed up for the free dropshipping course. There's a lot of valuable content coming your way. If you want the free dropshipping course, check the link down below in this actual email, and I'll show you this later in my auto response sequence at the end of the course. You're going to see exactly what I do in my auto response sequence, so maybe you can set yours up similar if you want. And then also what you're going to say is, by the way, keep an eye out for future emails, because I want to give you a lot of value, not just this course, but more value in the future. But I can't give it all to you in this one email, because I don't want you to get overwhelmed. So I'm going to give it to you in bits and pieces and chunks to help you out, so keep an eye out for future emails. And what that's going to do is it's going to warm them up and develop that rapport with them, so that they're more susceptible and more inclined to pay attention to your emails in the future, open them up, read through them, and be susceptible to your messages in the future. And that's basically setting up the auto response sequence. So we're going to pretend that you just created your email. Like I said, I'm not going to take you through every drag and drop and every possibility, because everyone has different niches. But I will show you my auto response sequence in full at the end of this course, and then we're going to hit save and continue when you're done. And then you'll see that you finally done the template. If you want to preview and test it, you can hit preview and test, and that will send you, you're going to send the test email out to your specific email. It'll ask you where. And that way you can check it ahead of time before you set it up. And then finally, you're going to choose the time that this action takes place. So first you're going to send, when somebody actually subscribes to your email list, so when they actually submit their email like I do here, you're going to send an email to your visitors that looks like this and has all these, capabilities. And then you're going to set the time of day. So if this is your first email, you're going to want to send it immediately if you promise them a product or a service or something like that. If you're setting up another, your second email, then obviously you're going to go back in and you're going to hit subscribes to a mailing list, and the same course of action with a different email template here. And then you might hit, depending on what you want your sequence to look like, maybe 7 days. Maybe you're going to set, a 1 day. And then hit enter. Maybe you want that to be, if you edit it here, maybe you want that to be 3 days. It's that simple, and that's how you're going to just continue to add them on top of each other. So you're going to activate one that's immediate. Come back in, add another one, activate one that's like 2 days. Come back in, add another one that's different. Maybe that's 4 days. And then you're going to continue to activate them, and that will basically take you to this page right here. If we can go back, whoops. Don't want to go there. Let's go back to automations, and that's going to start to show you that it's going to show you that you're going to build them here on this page, and then you can activate them or deactivate them as you please, and then you can obviously go back in and edit them if you want to. So make sure that when you name them and you create them, that that's the last step. Before, I didn't actually hit create, but that will be the last step. Name them something with numbers maybe, so that you know what they actually are. I forgot to do that when I actually started creating them. I organize them now, but you want to name them with either a number or something that's going to be familiar with what you know, so that you don't get lost here. Because if you have a bunch of them like I do, then obviously it's easy to kind of get sidetracked, and that's just a little tip that might help you out. So with that being said, like I said, you can create yours depending on whatever your niche is and however your timing sequence is, but that's the best way to go. And all right, guys, now I'm going to take you through my email marketing auto response sequence. So these are the emails that actually make me the money. Now, key thing here, and this is something that we're going to touch on, that I believe I touched on in previous lectures. I believe it was lecture 5 that I actually talked about this, where you're not going to send them, every single email is not to make money. Okay, you're going to have to give them value too, so that they're more inclined to open the emails where you're actually pitching them on products where you can make the money. So without further ado, let's hop into the actual sequence, and I'll literally read you about, 9 of the emails, or 8 of my emails for the first 9 days roughly. Now, I have about 20 days of emails in this sequence, so it goes a little bit, I think it's like to 25 days because I space them out here and there. So this will talk about obviously the timing of those specific videos, the timing of the specific emails that I'm sending. I'll talk about when I'm actually sending them, the sequence, and I'll actually give you examples obviously of the emails and what I actually give away for free, as well as what I sell. So you're getting everything here in this. I'm telling you, this is really, really valuable. If you take anything from this, obviously look at the specific copy that I used, how I structure my emails to kind of pitch them. The fact that I'm giving them a lot more value than I'm actually pitching. In these specific 2 examples, I believe I sell 2 things here, and then obviously later on in the other emails that I didn't pull up, I sell 2 more things. So in total, I believe I sell 4 or 5 things in all of my email marketing sequences. And like I said, I sent about 20 emails through a span of about 25 days. So 4 things are being sold in those 20 emails. I'm not selling 20 different things. I'm not spamming them, basically saying, hey, buy this. Then a day later, it's like, why don't you buy this? And then a day later, it's like, oh, you didn't want to buy that? Why don't you buy? No, what I'm doing is, here's some value. This is related to what you submitted. In this case, it's drop shipping. For you, it might be, real estate. For other people, it might be, a drop shipping store. Maybe you're selling, I use the example of pet products. Maybe you're drop shipping pet products. Well, then all your emails should be similar to pets or pet products, or something that you can, tie in with your writing to why they'd be interested in it. It has to be related. So you'll see here, everybody that comes to, and I'm going to pull this up in a second, everybody that comes to the specific landing page that I drive traffic to with that ad in that landing page that I gave you an example of, well, they come there for a free dropshipping course. So they're either interested in dropshipping specifically or making money online in some form or fashion. So that's exactly the things that I'm pitching them here in these email sequences. Let's jump in. All right, really briefly, I want to show you how you can add and subtract people from your email list for whatever reason, if that's something that you want to do. So maybe you have, you didn't necessarily get people to opt in on this particular landing page, but you already have an email list. And fully, before we actually get into this, it's very, very important that I know I have another course that teaches out blasting emails, but when you're creating something on a landing page or a specific software like this, whether that's, if you're using MailChimp or Aweber or, GetResponse or anything like that, or Wix email marketing, you have to make sure that the people that you add actually opted into the list, because if they start to see that a lot of people are flagging you for spam or doing this or that, and they didn't actually opt into your list, that's going to be a huge problem, and they're going to disable your account. So don't add people that didn't opt in. However, if you do have other people from another list that didn't necessarily submit to your specific landing page, but they actually have opted in to be in your email list, you can add them to your contacts on Wix. So you can do all your email marketing from Wix by adding them there. And basically what you're going to do is you're going to come down and hit Contacts and CRM right here. And then you're going to want to hit Contact List. And that's going to show you all the contacts that you have in your list, and you can simply add a new contact. You can select a contact and delete them, so on and so forth. And you'll see here I have 2,449 people in my contact list, and that's basically how you can do it. So it's crucial, but make sure that if you're adding people, that they have they have opted in to be on your actual list. So obviously when they submit the email on that landing page, the very first auto-response email that they get immediately is the actual dropshipping courses. That's what I'm giving away free, right? So they get the 2 dropshipping courses for free immediately, aka the value, and I've collected the email. That's the exchange. I get their email, they get the courses. Then a day later, you'll literally see here, a day later, I send this email. Subject line reads, "One major dropshipping problem." So they get this email a day later and they think, oh wow, there's a major dropshipping problem. I need to know what that is. So let's preview the email and I'll read it to you. One major dropshipping problem. Everyone is doing it the same way now. Same products, same niches, same ads. They're all competing on price in extremely competitive and slowly dying markets. The answer? Differentiate. There are 1,001 ways to dropship. Why do what everyone else is doing? Don't be the small fish in the big pond. If you don't be the small, I should have said that with more emphasis. Don't be the small fish in the big pond. If you'd rather be the big fish in the small dropshipping pond, click the link below to find out some different takes on dropshipping. And then it says, yes, show me. So everything here in this email is to get the click on this button. This button actually takes them, I believe, to a video that I did on YouTube, which is something I give away for free, obviously, with value. Let me mute this so you don't hear that. I'm giving them away value. It's basically the death of dropshipping, the main problem that dropshippers face. So basically what I'm giving them here is an entire other excess video on something that they might face as dropshippers that they didn't even realize was a problem when they first got these courses, aka the value. Then, a day later after that, so 2 days later after they first submitted their email, they're going to get this email, and it says, why customers don't buy from your ads. Because people doing dropshipping, if you don't know anything about dropshipping, are going to hop in and I've done dropshipping, that's why I know this. They're going to hop in, they're going to spend money on ads, and guess what? Those ads aren't going to convert anybody. But so what I'm saying is they're going to run into a problem, and I'm addressing that problem in this email. So here's more value. It says, why customers don't buy from your ads. Okay, it says, face it, your ads suck. It's not your fault. Mine did too, which is true. And then I say, but that's a good thing. That means there's so much room for improvement. The reason? You're sending them to the wrong people. Sure, you might be targeting well, picking all the right demographics and really hitting the right interest groups, but how many sales are you getting? What if you were only spending money on ads that were going directly to your customers, directly to customers you already knew were interested in your products, had been to your website before, and were already familiar with your store? Well, your conversion rates would be much higher, your ad spend would be much lower, and your sales would be much, much higher. If you want to learn how to achieve this, yes, anyone can do it. Click the link below. So, like I said, giving more value in this, basically telling them about a problem they also didn't know that they could face. I'm relating to them all the problems that they could do in this email copy, All of this is basically, it's not giving them information here. It's basically all enticing them to get the click to give them more value, which then ends up being another YouTube video that I did, and which is a great way, and you can take this and mold this for you. Create a YouTube video. Maybe you want to create a blog post if you're not comfortable getting in front of the computer. Maybe you want to create a cheat sheet, another one. Maybe you want to create whatever. Come up with something that you can give them a value. The idea is, like we talked about in that previous video, hit them. It's kind of like Gary Vee says, jab, 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 and then finally you're going to give them a cross or a right hook or whatever he says. It's like you want to give them value, give them value, give them value, give them value. And then when they're so on edge, ready for the value in the next email, then you give them the jab or the cross, which is you pitching them a product. So they're more enticed, they're more likely to click on that product and obviously make a purchase or be more susceptible to what you're actually pitching them, because guess what? You gave them so much value that they're more inclined to open your emails and read them. So here's another example. It says what a retargeting pixel is and how to set it up. And this is basically tying into another dropshipping problem that a lot of dropshippers face, aka the more value. So let's move on. Then a day later after that, so 3 days later now, they get the dropshipping mistake to avoid. And I believe this is more value, but let's check. Let's read it. Hold on. Are you making this crucial dropshipping mistake with a question mark? What's the best way to grow your dropshipping business? Most people's answer, get more customers. Obviously, they're going to be thinking the same thing because they're relatively new to dropshipping. And they say, are they wrong? In theory, no. In reality, yes. Most people focus on how to increase their sales and how to run more profitable ads. And of course, that helps. But the best way to grow your dropshipping business isn't to focus on those one-off customers. It's actually to focus on building your back end. And then obviously they're thinking, building my back end, I've never even thought of that here because they're new to dropshipping. So basically I'm telling them how they can build their back end to improve their overall business. So improve your customer service, grow your social media, forge relationships with your customers, build your brand. If you want to learn more about how to improve your store's back end, increase repeat customers, and build your brand, click the link below. So like I said, it's all enticing, giving more value to get the click, grow my brand, which takes them to another YouTube video of more value. So that's 3 days in a row now I've given them value on top of the courses that I've given. You can assume that they're pretty much susceptible to my pitch now. Now let's see if I actually pitch them a product. I pitch them consulting here. So 3 days of value after giving them 2 free courses. So they're thinking, this dude just gave me 2 free courses. He gave me 3 free YouTube videos and tied it all into things that I didn't even know were problems for me. He's obviously got my best interests at heart. He's obviously looking out for me. And now they're susceptible to my pitch, which I'm not saying, hey, I have consulting, by the way. Why don't you come buy some consulting from me so I can give you the secrets that I'm not telling you. Obviously, there aren't any secrets I'm not telling them, but what I'm saying is I could walk them through it. But I'm not pitching it that way. It's all in your sales copy. It's all in your email copy. It's how you tie that into, like we talked about before. Copywriting it's an art form. It's the art of selling with written words. So I'm not saying, hey, buy some consulting. I'm giving them an anecdotal story that they can relate to, and I'm basically subtly saying, hey, this is what I did, and I learned this the hard way, but you can avoid that by basically buying some consulting from me. Okay, so that's basically what I'm pitching them. Let's jump into it. So this is 4 days later now, after, like I said, 3 days of value and the 2 free courses. So this says, I learned this the hard way. I forget exactly what the the subject line said with this one, but I learned this the hard way. It's got a picture of my consulting thing that I have on my website. So when they go to my consulting and actually click the link, they'll know that they're in the right place. Like I said, very related, very simple. So they're thinking, oh, geez, what's the number one? I've already talked 3 days about problems that they're facing. What's this? What do I not know now? And then I say, when you start off any business, especially dropshipping, you're going to struggle. It's not your fault. When I first started out, and the whole theme here is I keep telling them it's not their fault. And what I'm doing there is it's a copywriting tactic. It's basically psychology. Basically, everybody wants to, a customer wants to feel emotionally charged. So people buy based off emotion, and they use logic and reason to justify their purchases. Use that in your email copy. So what I'm saying here is psychologically, I'm telling them it's not their fault. And basically what I'm doing there is I'm subtly getting at the fact that, hey, it's not your fault, but I have a solution. It will be your fault if you don't take action on this solution that I'm providing you. So it's a psychological tactic that works very, very well in copywriting and in sales in general. So I'm basically saying it's not your fault. When I first started out on my dropshipping journey, I struggled too. Then I struggled some more. Then I saw some success. Then I struggled even more. I made a sale, then nothing. So I decided to seek out some advice from someone who had seen the success I wanted, literally telling them an anecdotal story here. And this is all true, by the way. I did actually purchase consulting, and it was probably the best decision I made at the time when I was dropshipping. So all of this is very true. I'm not lying to them, but I'm telling them a story. I'm not saying, like I said, hey, buy some consulting. I'm saying, hey, I'm just like you. I purchased consulting and it really helped me. So I actually offer that service if you guys are interested. And obviously it's subtle here. So I decided to seek out some advice from someone who had seen the success that I wanted. Best choice I ever made, which is true. Then I say, not only did that 40-minute phone session increase my sales, but it taught me about potential problems that hadn't even happened yet and how to avoid them. And like we talked about in the last 3 emails, I'm talking about problems that they haven't even thought of could occur yet, or, approaches that they haven't even thought of could occur yet. So they're obviously thinking at this point when they're reading this, I wonder what problems could come my way that I'm not even aware of right now. Brian could probably help me out with telling me, what those are and how to avoid them. So then I say, these are the types of problems that only someone, aka me, who'd been there before could understand. Now I pay monthly to be in that person's coaching program because I recognize something all successful entrepreneurs do. A mentor can cut your learning curve exponentially, which is true. I am still in their coaching program. And it says, if you're still struggling to make money with dropshipping or really any online business, click the link below and let's hop on a call to get you back on track. The pitch for consulting. That says cut my learning curve. It doesn't say buy consulting. So it's all to get the click on the consulting, which once they've clicked this link and they're here, they're obviously more invested and thus more likely to purchase consulting. Also, a very related image, it's actually the image zoomed in with the 20 and the 10-minute phone sessions. And on my website, they obviously know, okay, it's a similar image. Psychologically, they'll think, okay, I'm in the right place. So then the 5th email, the 5th day, I go back to giving them value. I'm not saying, hey, I have another thing to buy. I'm going back to giving them value. Here it is, 10x your dropshipping sales. And I'm going to tell them how they can 10x their dropshipping sales from what they're making right now. Simple. It's all about the back end, remember, which is something we talked about in one of the previous emails. One tool that all dropshipping stores use is email marketing. They understand, which is something we're talking about in this course. Very, very valuable stuff. They understand the power of staying engaged with their customers. Email marketing is the core of any business. If you're not building your store's email list, then, well, your store won't last very long. If you want to learn how to set up a landing page to capture email leads for your business, click the link below to enroll in my Building Email Lists with Landing Page course, 100% free. So, what did I do? I pitched them consulting after giving them so much value, and then this, like I said, all of it's to entice the click again, 10x my sales with email marketing, and guess what? After I pitched them, I gave them, if they decided not to purchase or whether they decided to purchase, either way, I go back to giving them an immense amount of value. I'm saying, hey, why don't you take this course for free again too? Here's an entire course that I made that I sell. And you know what? I'm going to give it to you for free because it's related to what you're learning and I'm trying to help you. So I go back to giving them immense value. And then when they click this link, what that's going to do, I believe, is actually, I can't do it here because I'm signed into Udemy, which obviously where you're taking this. But if I take it to another browser, it should show you. This should be the link to enroll in my Building Email Lists with Landing Pages course 100% free, which I actually sell. Of course, Firefox is updating. Why wouldn't it be? Let's try Internet Explorer. Yep, there it is. So List Builder, it should be that's the email list landing page course. Enroll, if it loads, enroll 100% free. So that is the link to enroll for free on my Building Email Lists with Landing Pages course, which is obviously very related, like I'm talking about them here. So let's see what I go ahead and pitch them in the next one. And then finally I gave them another free course, gave them some value, and then guess what? 6 days after they finally submitted their email, I gave them, excuse me, I needed a drink. So I gave them three days of value, then I pitched them. Then I gave them another free course value, some more value. Then guess what? I'm going to go back to pitching them with an all-course bundle. So it basically says, an entrepreneur's biggest mistake. I talk about the mistakes that they don't even know that they could be making again. And here I am, like I showed you before on that first landing page, when we talked about landing pages, I'm going to pitch them on my all-course bundle, which if you know anything about my courses or anything that I sell on my website, I usually sell my courses for $9.95 on my website. When you purchase them on Udemy, sometimes you'll purchase them for $9.95 or $9.99 or $10. Some people purchase them for $20. But so what I'm basically saying is, here's 40 courses for $80, not $400. So it's a great deal. But obviously, it's an upsell for me from literally the free email submit. So they came there thinking that they were going to get something for free, which they obviously got a lot of value, and they got 3 courses for free. But I'm also pitching them on my products to make money off that potential lead, and that's how I actually make it. So I also pitch them something I'm not going to show you later. I pitch them an affiliate link for Market Hero. I also pitch them, it actually might be here. Did I include that? I think I did, yeah. So I also pitch them Market Hero, which is an $1,000 potential affiliate link for me that's reoccurring. It's also an $100 potential affiliate link for me that's reoccurring. I also pitch them something I'm going to talk about at the end of this course, which is both Market Hero and ClickFunnels. I also pitch them ClickFunnels, which gives them a free book, which is a potential, I believe it's another potential $100 affiliate link for me. So that's how every lead is essentially worth $6 to me. But let's get into what I'm actually selling them here to give you another example of something that you can sell, whether you're doing digital products or you're selling something that you have. Maybe you're pitching an open house for a real estate thing. Maybe you're pitching another product on your dropshipping store. Maybe you're pitching an Amazon private label product. Whatever it is, take it and tailor it to you. But let's go through. I have 3 more emails to run through as examples to give them value and pitch them 2 more products. So this one, the biggest mistake all entrepreneurs make. Hands down, the biggest mistake I see entrepreneurs making is getting stuck chasing one thing with tunnel vision. And that's so true. For you, that might be Shopify dropshipping. For others, for some entrepreneurs, it's Amazon private labeling. Lately, it seems like it's investing in cryptocurrency. There are 1,001 ways to make money online, and the reality is, a couple might be perfect for you. But if you're stuck banging your head against the same wall, hoping something will click for you eventually, you could be missing out on the business that's actually right for you. Moral of the story, try a bunch of different things. You never really know what will work for you if you only try a couple. And so what they're doing is they're reading this and they're identifying with this. They're saying, hey, I've tried, because literally everybody is identifying with this. I identify with this. It's like when you go to like a tarot card reader or like somebody that's pitching you your fortune or something like that. They're never going to tell you, oh, the X, Y, and Z is going to happen on this date. No, they're going to give you something broad that you can, obviously relate to so that you draw your own conclusions. So you think, oh my God, they just read my future. How do they know that? But in reality, they're just telling you something that is, clearly true, and you're drawing your own conclusions, based on what they said. So what I'm basically saying here is I'm telling a narrative that everybody can relate to. So they read this and they think, oh, wow, like, yeah, I've failed at an online business before, because 99.9% of people have, and I certainly have. And obviously they're saying, well, what if there's another business that I didn't even know about that Brian teaches that, could be the business that's right for me that can make all the difference, which is actually true. I'm not lying in this. It's 100% true. I sell, and I'm going to talk about here in a second, I sell courses that all sorts of people, and I teach all sorts of business models online that I've done in the past and that I've used, and that I've seen success with certain businesses and I've seen failures with others, just like other people see success with certain businesses and fail with others. So there are certain things that are right for some people and wrong for others, and that's exactly what I'm basically telling them here. But like I said, I'm pitching them a product. So I say, I've taught over 120,000 people to successfully make money online. Guess what? They all don't succeed with the same business. Also true. So if you want to learn not just one, but 40 different business models, this is your opportunity to figure out what works for you once and for all. As a whole, my courses would retail for $8,400, but because you're an action taker, I'm going to bundle them all together for just $79.95. And then special course bundle 100 students, basically give me the key. I say, if you want to figure out what business key works for your specific money engine, click the link below. So I'm not saying buy this, here's my all course bundle. All of this is to entice the click, like I said, to take them to my landing page to buy my all course bundle for $79.95. Okay, so that's what I'm pitching there. Now, a couple keys. This isn't a sales course, so I'm not going to go in depth with this. A couple keys that you're going to want to remember when you're pitching any products through email or just in general there's a couple things that you're going to want to keep in mind. So first thing that you'll see here is special bundle price only available to the first 100 students. So what I'm doing here is I'm creating urgency. Typically, there's a couple objections that you're going to get, and the objections are, why do I need this right now? I can always wait on this. So you need to establish some form of urgency, why they need to purchase it right now. So what I'm doing is saying I'm only giving this to 100 people. If you're not one of the 100 people, sorry, it's going to close, which is true. So if they realize, okay, well, if I don't get in right now, I might not have an opportunity to get in, aka the urgency. I'm establishing the urgency. Then you need to establish the value. So people might say, another objection that you might get in a number of ways is, well, I don't necessarily see the value in it. And people, that comes in all forms and fashions and sales. That might be, I'm still thinking about it, or it comes in so many different ways. But basically what people are saying and customers are saying in that aspect is, you know what, I don't really see the value here. I don't understand why this is worth what you're saying it's worth. So what I'm saying right here when I'm going for the close is I'm establishing the value. So my courses retail for all 40 of these courses retail for $8,400. But hey, if you purchase today, I'm just going to give them to you for $79.95, aka establishing the value. And then obviously I'm establishing the urgency. So the value and the urgency. Then you want to, which is basically the third thing in that, is you want to touch on all the objections. So I believe that I've touched on the objections and the urgency and the value here. Another thing that you're going to want to keep in mind when you're selling, and if obviously you haven't built this up yet, it's not necessary, but you want to focus on respect, trust, and rapport. This is something that all salespeople need to focus on, because you can be the worst salesman in the world. You can have the worst copywriting in the world. You can have the worst sales pitch in the world. But if you have trust, you have respect, and you have rapport from somebody, they're more inclined to purchase from you. And so that's what I'm basically doing when I'm teaching these courses, is I'm building the trust, the respect, and the rapport. I just gave these people 3 courses for free, right? So they've gone through my work. I also gave them 3 YouTube videos for free, and I gave them a bunch of tips in my emails. So I've established the trust, the respect, and the rapport. They understand that I know what I'm talking about. I'm giving them a bunch of value. I've built that trust with them, and they're more inclined to purchase my courses in the future. So I'm pitching them courses after I gave them courses for free. Like I said, take this and tailor it to you, whatever you're selling, but that's basically my pitch right here. All right, guys, now we're going to talk about shout-outs and how that's important. So I ran you through how to actually, the basics of setting up the landing page, how to actually set up the form so that you can collect the email, and then how to set up the auto-response sequence. Then I ran you through what my auto-response sequence looks like in case you want to model it similar to that. Now we're going to run through how to actually do a shout-out with the email marketing through Wix. Now, this is what, if you're not setting up an email, if you're just kind of sending out shout-outs, or you want to just send out emails to an email list, this is the part of the course that's relevant for you. So if you're not setting up an auto-response sequence, totally fine. This is what you're after. So to do that, maybe you have a YouTube channel, and you want to send a shout out to bring, your email subscribers, your email list, notify them that you have a new YouTube video out. Maybe you have, you want to just send out a shout out to your email list, and let all the people know that you have a new blog post, or whatever it is, whatever you're trying to generate attention towards. This will be relevant and good for you. So you're going to go back to marketing tools, and then you're going to go to email marketing, and then you're going to hit, why is it asking me to upgrade? I'm going to reuse this right here, because typically, if you've never created one, there'll be a new button up here, not upgrade. It always asks me to upgrade. They always want me to pay more money, but you don't have to. So I'm just going to hit reuse this one, and this is one that I actually just sent out as I believe it was a Cyber Monday deal to my email list. So we're going to just edit this one and roll with it. So you'll see here that my picture's up here. That's just how I set it up for my shoutouts. You can do it similarly. I also, in the footer of my shoutouts, I also hit like a little share button, plus go to BG University. Didn't mean to do that. And just like anything else, this is drag and drop. So when you're creating the emails, when you're doing the shout-outs, when you're creating the auto-response sequences, when you're actually setting the landing page form, it's all drag and drop, and it's all very, very easy to use. Play around with it a little bit. If you have a question, feel free to ask me. Always willing to help. But play around with it a little bit. It's really, really easy to do and easy to use. The same goes with the drag and drop features for the email marketing. So you might be sending out a shout-out to generate attention to your YouTube channel, like I said. Maybe it's to generate attention to your blog post, or to your new website, that you just created, or maybe, a new channel that you have, or something like that. Or maybe you're trying to sell products like I am right here. Whatever it is, you can do that. It's very, very simple. You're just going to hit the shout out. So if I were going to, let's pretend that I was going to do, let's go to all campaigns here. And I wanted to generate eyes or buzz around a potential YouTube video. This one actually got declined because I was talking about passive income and how do you hack the system. They didn't like that very much. Understandable. But I do this all the time. So here's another one, the one secret to passive income. And you'll see here that if I click this, it'll show you exactly what I did with it. And basically what I did was I said, want to earn passive income while you sleep. And I gave them a little bit of good copy that, enticed them to click on the video, so that when people click through this email and they clicked on this video or this actual button, it sent them to my email or to my new YouTube video to get more views and more, potential subscribers to my YouTube video. That's how I used it. And like I said, I just showed you another example of how I was selling products with this one right here for Cyber Monday or for Black Friday. And then obviously it's really, really easy to use. So once you're right here and pretend that you wanted to actually create this shout out, let's go back up to here and hit reuse. You're going to simply hit next once your shout-out's done, and you'll see here that it's funny because I actually started with like 10,000 emails, and a lot of them have actually dropped off because I market to them so much, and some of them stick around. But this, you'll see here, depending on how big your email list is, whether you're building that on Wix or you're building that on somewhere else, you can either hit all or just the people that have subscribed. I always just recommend that you hit just the people that are subscribed, and then you want to hit next. And this is where you're going to actually hit the subject line of your email. So your email's already created. So if you want your subject line to say, something enticing, you want to get them to open. The whole thing here isn't to inform, it's to get the click so that they open up your email. And you might want to name it whatever you want to name. I'm not going to go through and name certain things because, like I said, different people have different niches, and it's impossible to do a one size fits all for everybody. And then your from name obviously is going to be from who you are, so that the people understand and recognize it. And then you can put a reply to email here if you want. And, you don't have to if you want to as well. You can send yourself a test email so that you can see that and what that actually looks like. And then you can obviously hit send to blast it out to your email list. And like I said, the free email marketing with Wix actually comes with 5,000 free emails. So 5,000 free shout outs. So if you ever need to scale, obviously you can upgrade then. But for the majority of you won't be sending more than 5,000 emails a month anyway, so it will be free. And that's basically how you send a shout out for whatever purpose you see fit. All right, so now I want to take you back into, actually looking at the Wix stats. So if you want to check out how your email did, how your auto response sequence emails are doing, who's opening, who's clicking through, or how your shout outs do, basically what you want to do is you want to come to email marketing again, and then you can scroll down and look at all the stats. If you hit all campaigns, you can check the stats. And this is important because what you can track, you can improve. And so if you see that you just sent out an email and it was sent to 760 people, and maybe 600 of them usually open and view it, but this one only got 254, well then obviously your title wasn't good enough and it didn't entice people to click it, or maybe you want to do that a couple times because there can be extenuating circumstances, like maybe send it on a day that a lot of people are busy, something like that, or they didn't see it, or it might hit the spam folder or something like that. So there's a lot of different things and factors that come into play. But if you start to see a trend and through your analytics here that Wix provides you, you can adjust it because you can see that and track it. Another thing that I like to pay attention to is which one's got the most clicks. So if I sent this and you see 532 people viewed it and 143 people clicked through it, click to where I want them to go through, that's a good sign because that means that a high percentage of the people that I'm sending it to are viewing and clicking through, so that was a good email. So then I can go back into that email, and any future emails that I want to send that are similar, I can model them after this. Another good example would be to look at ones that failed or didn't do well. So that's how you can basically track it. I just wanted to touch on, looking back at your results, because it's crucial to understand that, the certain metrics that Wix provides for you for free, so you can check the analytics and see what's working and what's not, and how to adjust it.